as a Giants football fan, New York Giants football fan, ooh, I hate Gettleman. And as a TV guy, oh, thank you, Gettleman. Is he joking? Thanks for the A block today, Dave. Is he joking? He's trying to come up with a rational basis for why he traded Odell. And his excuse is, his reason is, well, really, all players are assets, and we traded this for those. In other words, I'm using rational thought. I'm trying to use my brain. This is the same guy who's on the record as saying analytics, like mocking them, mocking analytics. Dave, what do you think analytics are? It's just using your brain. So, no, I don't want to use my brain the way the smart people do, like from the winning teams. I want to use my brain the way the dumb people do from the losing teams, apparently, right? And it's not even like I'm not questioning Dave Gettleman as a scout. I'm not pretending I can look at football and know what you're looking at, Dave. Of course not. I get it. I get it. I'm not questioning that. What I am saying is analytics, rational thought, is a tool in the toolbox. If you're trying to build something, a house or something, and it calls for a saw, he's saying, no, I don't want all the tools in the box. I'm just going to go, I'm going to think with my gut. I don't need the saw. I'm going to use this wrench. I hope that's a sharp wrench if you plan to saw through some wood. I mean, is he joking? You paid him. It's not just that you paid him. Oh, we didn't pay him to trade him. You paid him in cash a $20 million bonus. In cash. So the assets that you get, don't try to be slick. The assets that you get, like a mid-first round pick, ooh, that's good. You know why it's good? It could be an impact player on the cheap. But when you're trading $20 million cash for it, it's not on the cheap. He didn't even get the better of the 2 third-round picks. He got the lesser of the 2 third-round picks. And even the safety he brings in that he thinks is like a first-round pick, he lost his other first-round pick, who's a better safety, because he didn't even want to franchise him, but the deal Landon Collins got from Washington shows you he had real trade value, better than a compensatory third-round pick. If you view Peppers as a first-round pick, how do you feel? None of it makes sense. It's double talk nonsense by a GM so far who's proving to be a bad GM.
I must admit, I'm kind of disappointed in your soliloquy. And the reason why I'm disappointed is because considering how awful this man has been and how much he's lied, I really expected you to be harsher on him. I really did.
So you say he lied?
No.
During this interview, he was lying.
Look, think about it. What he sit up there and say? He sat up there and said, trust me. But in the same interview, he sat up there and said, listen, it's not my job to tell y'all the truth.
One thing?
It's not my job to tell y'all the truth.
Can I just say
Go ahead.
something?
Go ahead.
That's our next topic. I was saving the
You
lying
understand what
part
I'm saying?
for part 2.
I got you,
Go ahead.
but I'm not getting into that. I wasn't even going to go there. Here's the thing that I think that everybody, first of all, of course, I'm not buying what Gettleman is selling. You know why I'm not buying what Gettleman is selling? Because it's Gettleman. Plain and simple. That's the reason. Sometimes all you need to do is look at the salesman to know that you don't need to buy. And that's what this really, really comes down to. And I'm not going to even get into what he did with Josh Norman in terms of offering him something and pulling it off the table without a backup plan in Carolina, fresh off of a Super Bowl appearance against the Denver Broncos. We can look at what has transpired in New York City. The fact of the matter is that whatever move that he has made, nothing has been ultra impressive. When you bring up Landon Collins, again, you didn't have to lose him. Mm-hmm. You understand? And even though you get Peppers, and I think Peppers has promise, the fact of the matter is Landon Collins has proven to be better thus far. So when you look at it from that perspective, of course it's disappointing. But then let me just go macro perspective, okay? Because I got you to break down the nuances of what actually happens on the football field. I'm a bottom line kind of guy. You understand? Y'all do. I report and talk about it, commentate, et cetera, et cetera. Giants have missed the playoffs 6 times in the last 7 years. Mm-hmm. 6 times in the last 7 years. 6 times in the last 7 years, the New York Giants have missed the playoffs. 5 times in the last 7 years, they've had a losing record. Eli Manning, who you're paying all of this money to, and according to Forbes magazine, if I remember correctly, he is the second highest paid quarterback or NFL player in history. Yep. Number 1 is his brother. Number 2 is him. He's collected over $235 million. That was before the season, okay? What happens? Eli Manning's record is 116-114 as a starting quarterback in the National Football League for the New York Giants. I know the 2 Super Bowl rings, okay? I've told you before, I can make the argument That defense won those championships. Yeah, you made a play to Odell, to Plexico Burris when you needed to.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Let me finish. A pass to Mario Manningham when you had to. There's something to be said. I'm not taking that away from Eli Manning. You're the quarterback, you throwing passes. Of course you're going to complete a couple of passes. But if you look at the Giants defense, if you look at the Giants defense going up against New England, and that front four and the pressure that they applied to Tom Brady, that was significant. I'm only making that point not to take anything away from Eli Manning's Super Bowl championships. To sit up there and say, yo, y'all holding on to the Super Bowl championships when it was the last one was in 2011. I could make the argument that if we were in 2012, why are y'all screaming like, oh my God, this man is the savior? So if I could do that in 2012, I could damn sure do it in 2017. These are the kind of things. And my last point is this. If it were anyone other than a Manning, what would we be saying? Eli Manning is class personified, a professional.
For sure.
The Manning are their class as a family. Great people. The bottom line is we're talking football here. And when you look at the football resume of Eli Manning, for Gettleman to sit up there and hold on to this and to come out and to say the things that he said, I find utterly ridiculous. I'm not buying anything he's selling at all because he's openly admitted he ain't going to tell the truth.
But he also said that it wasn't even a decision that had to be made with Eli Manning, as if they weren't even talking about it, amongst execs. And now you lose Odell Beckham Jr. And you don't, to me, even though you get the 17th pick of the draft, you get a third rounder, you get Jabril Peppers, which Dave Gettleman is valuing like another first-round draft pick. That's what he's saying. That's what he's selling to people. It's not compensatory into what you gave up. And by the way, you're still paying $20 million to Odell Beckham Jr.